Bonjour! So, now I actually have a new frame. In the last video, when I went on about Cameroon, I still had the Haitian flag up. This is the actual flag of Cameroon. There's a star in the middle of it, but I am covering that. That's the problem with using these flags as a border, is that I often am covering up whatever is in the middle of them. So, this is our last section of 2.6 notes for lesson 6 here. And it is just two verbs. They are both irregular. You should assume if I am teaching you verbs like this, it's because they're irregular. So our first verb is prendre. Prendre means to take. And it is conjugated like this. Je prends, tu prends, il, elle, on prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, ils, elles prennent. Okay, so irregular. The first three are conjugated how you would expect an RE verb to be conjugated, right? S, S, nothing. Drop the RE and add S, S, nothing. Then it kind of goes off the rails for the rest of these. Prenons, prenez, prenne. Okay? It means to take. I take, you take, he, she, one takes. We take, y'all take, they take. However, prendre also has some other meanings. So, qu'est-ce que tu prends? In this case, it means having. Qu'est-ce que tu prends? What are you having? Like, what are you like eating and drinking right now? So, like, if you were at a restaurant and said, I don't know what I'm gonna get. What are you getting? Like, what are you having? You might answer, oh, I'm getting the spaghetti. Okay, that's the verb prendre in French. Qu'est-ce que tu prends? What are you having? Je prends un café et un croissant. I'm having a coffee and a croissant. We use a similar verb sometimes in English. If I were to ask you, how do you take your coffee? How do you take your coffee? Which means, how do you have your coffee? And I would ask you, like, do you take cream or sugar? Do you put cream or sugar in your coffee? Same verb, prendre, to take. Oops. And there are three other verbs that are conjugated like prendre, so the same pattern that we saw here. And they are apprendre. So it's conjugated just like prendre, but with an extra AP at the beginning. For example, nous apprenons le français. Apprendre means to learn. So nous apprenons le français. We are learning French. Some of us are. Some of you are not. Then apprendre à infinitive. So apprendre à, and then an infinitive, means to learn how to, like to learn to, right? So, Charlotte apprend à danser. Charlotte is learning to dance. We're learning how to dance. And comprendre means to understand. So, les élèves comprennent le prof. The students understand the teacher. This kind of looks like the word comprehend, right? Which means understand. And that's it for prendre and verbs that are conjugated like prendre. You just have to know how to conjugate it. You just kind of memorize it. I know that's not great news, but that's how French is sometimes. Then, our next verb is mettre. Mettre means to put or to place. To put or to place. Okay? It is conjugated like this. Je mets, tu mets, il, elle, on met, nous mettons, vous mettez, il, elle, met. I put place, you put or place, he, she, one puts or places, we put or place. You, y'all put or place. They put or place. And similar to prendre, mettre has a number of meanings that are not to put or place. This verb is used in many different contexts. For example, tu mets ta nouvelle veste? So in this sentence, mettre means to wear. So tu mets ta nouvelle veste? Are you wearing your new jacket? You also know the verb porter as in to wear, but mettre is also fine. You can also use it. Another context in which you can use mettre, mets la radio s'il te plaît. And in this case, mettre means to turn on. Okay, so mets la radio, turn on the radio, please. Turn on the radio. Mettre. And finally, in this sentence, qui va mettre la table? Mettre means to set, as in to set the table. So, qui va mettre la table? Who is going to set the table? Okay, so a number of different meanings for mettre here. It's kind of a workhorse verb. And like prendre, there are a few verbs that are conjugated just like mettre. And they are permettre. Okay, so conjugated just like mettre, but there's a PER in front of all of them. For instance, permets-tu à ton frère d'écouter tes CD? And here, permettre means to allow, or like to let. So this sentence, permets-tu à ton frère d'écouter tes CD? Do you let, or do you allow your brother to listen to your CDs? The answer to that question is no, none of us have CDs. It looks like the word permit, right? You permit your brother. And it's usually followed by a. You allow to someone in French. Next is promettre. Promettre. For instance, je promets d'être patient. Promettre means to promise. To promise. So I promise to be patient. And in French, promettre is followed by de, or the apostrophe before the infinitive of like whatever, if there's an infinitive. Promet, promettre. That's it. That is everything for lesson 2.6. Let us look at your practice for this section. This one is not graded. It's just focusing on meaning, however. So this one will have a key at the bottom. I just haven't done it yet. But for these, they're just fill in the blanks. And I have the verbs you can choose from in a little box. So for each of these, you have to read the sentence and decide which one of these verbs makes sense based on the context of the sentence. And then you need to conjugate it. So for example, this first one, pour aller à l'école, nous blank le bus. Okay, so in order to go to school, we blank bus. Take is the verb we need. The verb in this box that means to take is prendre. So we just would conjugate prendre for nous, which would be prenons. Nous prenons le bus. And I would change the color of my answer so it's easy for Ms. Harris to see. And that's it. That's this section. It's just practicing reading sentences and understanding what they mean, and then being able to replicate these conjugations I just showed you. Put this back. Oh no. Oh no. Terrible things just happened. We're not worried about it. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. This is the end of lesson 2.6, so your next video is going to be your quiz prep, and then you'll be getting ready to take your quiz next week. Yeah, that's it. Sorry to Cameroon for messing up your flag at the beginning of this video, or last video. Au revoir.